Okay, boys, we are back here with the 2030 NHL playoffs. If you missed the last episode, the Ottawa Senators went 53-20-9. Alex DeBrincat had a career year, as did Ruslan Zadorov, as did Tim Stützle and Pablo Kilgore. We had a lot of career years out there. We had the best season of all time for an Ottawa Senators franchise, so we are definitely feeling on top of the world right now. But in these playoffs, we cannot get complacent, as we do have a tough Columbus Blue Jackets team in front of us. I say tough because of this man right here, Eli Tolvanen. If you guys do not know, he was on the roster, the Ottawa Senators roster, for which years was it? For the 2024-25 season, scored 61 points with us and then didn't replicate that for the next 2 years. So we met him in the finals as well, so we gave him a chance, we let him flourish with us, and now he's going to try to tear us down. So this is going to be an interesting series for sure. Other than Tolvanen, we do have to watch out for Tyler Bertuzzi, who can help keep that puck out of the net with his 4-star defense. He can also bury a few for sure. He had 17 points in 17 games last postseason run. Oh yeah, speaking of last postseason, if you guys do not know, we faced the Columbus Blue Jackets in last postseason in the Eastern Conference Finals and beat them, but it was a hard-fought series for sure. They do have 89 and 87 on their top pair, very strong defensive core for sure, Zach Werenski and David Jiricek, but they fall off a little bit, not with Denton Matejchuk, who is a fantastic defenseman at 86, but with their depth. 79 overall, Nolan Allen on their second pairing, and then 78 overall, Vladislav Kolyachonok. So those are the two guys that are their weakest, that we can take advantage of. And then Jake Ottinger, who we were deciding whether we wanted to trade for him. We decided against it for Ilya Sorokin, so let's hope that pays off for us. But a pretty decent Columbus Blue Jackets team in front of us. I'll show you our team now. I do think that we are poised to, I don't want to say make a run, but we have, overall-wise, just looking at overall-wise, we have a much stronger team than them. We have a 91 on our first line. We have the 99-point Alex DeBrincat with a massive shooter, Damien Pascal. On the second line here, we have Pablo Kilgore, who had a fantastic year. Ruslan Zadorov, who had a career year. Walker Reimer, who might have had a career year as well. Let me do my due diligence. Yes, he did. So we have a good second line, a good first line. Third line, a fairly new third line, I will say. Dmitry Tutin, only his third year in the NHL, but definitely guys that can get it done for us. And then on defense, we have Jake Sanderson and Thomas Chabot, who have been the staples on this blue line for, well, Chabot for his entire career, Jake Sanderson for the last, just under a decade, 8 years. So we have a good pairing there up front. Then we have better depth than them, but you could say they have the stars, but we also have the stars. So I would say on defense, we're even, if maybe you give us the edge. And then goaltending, they have the edge in overall, but do not count this man out. Ilya Sorokin, he carried us to, well, I won't say he carried, but he was a big part of the reason why we get to the Stanley Cup Finals last year. So we're going to be relying on him again. We do have the rookie Marcus Vishnevsky as well in between the pipes, but either way, that is enough talk about these two teams. Now it's time to get on the ice. It doesn't matter what they look like on paper, it matters how we perform. So let's get on the ice in front of the home fans in Canadian Tire Center, where we put the banner up last year. So let's get this show on the road. First period underway here. Let's see how it goes. First period, and we are down 2-1 as Lawson Krause and Cole Sillinger both score, but then Pablo Kilgore evens. No, never mind. We are still down by 1. I don't know what I'm saying here. Second period underway. Now let's get through it. And that's a big second period out of the Ottawa Senators as we take the lead 3-2. Damien Pascal scores on that power play. Ruslan Zadorov also scores. Third period now. If you guys don't know how we do playoff videos either, I do make these playoff videos extra long. I make them about an hour and a half, a bit longer, an hour and 50 minutes, maybe just under 2 hours, so that you guys do not know what the outcome of the playoffs are. I could get kicked out. That's Walker Reimer with a goal. I could get kicked out of the playoffs in the first round in 4 games, although it will not be 4 games, but I could get kicked out of the playoffs here in 5 games, and you guys would not know because the video will be 2 hours long. I hated when I watched franchise modes if a video was 30 minutes. Oh, I know he's not going to make it to the final. finals, why do I bother watching? So you guys are reacting live with me. Feel free to get excited, grab some popcorn, grab a drink, whatever it is, and let's have some fun out here. So the first game, we win 4-2. The 3 stars of the night are all young players. Kilger, Reimer, and Zadorov all get on the board. And looking at us, do we have any big minus players? I don't care really too much about minus ones, though. That fourth line there, definitely minus. Also, the first line defensive pairing minus, so something to look at for sure. We did pick up a free agent Tyler Seguin at the trade deadline as well, which I forgot to mention in the opening statements there, but either way, getting to game number 2 now. No changes to make as we were successful in game 1, winning that one 4-2. So if we can keep the puck out of the net like that and score 4, I am more than comfortable with this team making a run. Here we go. Second game going to be underway now. Let's simulate this sucker up and try to take the 2-0 lead in Canadian Tire Center, man. Keep our home ice advantage against the Columbus Blue Jackets. For Keegan Keeley is going to score first period, and Columbus is going to take the lead after Keegan Keeley scores early. Columbus scores 2 goals in less than a minute. They're in 59 seconds apart each, so we've got to stop the bleeding, boys. We can't be allowing 2 goals in the first period every game. That's twice now that we have allowed 2 goals in the first period. I do not like that stat, but if we can have a good second period like we did last game, I will be okay with it. So let's see. Second period, and we do. We score 2 in the second period as well. Keegan Keeley gets his second of the night. Thomas Chabot gets his first of this playoff run. He's always a big contributor on the playoffs, so let's go here. Third period underway, simulating through it now. Want to see a good third period again out of Ilya Sorokin, and I would like to see one more goal just for insurance, but if the defense want to come through for me, I will not complain. And we do not Seabrook, who I do not actually recognize that name, perhaps a third line or fourth line player for them, is going to tie things up at 3, and you guys know what time it is now. It is overtime. All right, here we go, Sens fans. I'm trying a new angle. I'm going to try the broadcast for this this video in the playoffs, so let me know what you guys think about it. But here we go, game 2, overtime. Let's get through this. DeBrincat in here, 2-on-1, gets a shot off, but who is their goalie again? Oh yeah, Jake Ottinger makes that save. Defensive zone draw there. Dimitri Tutin, I need the win, please. He gets it as well. He is clutch in those big moments, but Keegan Keeley moves out and gets stuck on Ilya Sorokin there as the AI fumbles behind our net. Here's Keegan Keeley, finds Robert Alfredson. Alfredson to Chabot. Chabot takes a shot there, but that is blocked in front. Alfredson picks up the rebound, though, and that is going to go to Tyler Bertuzzi now. Allen with that puck. Allen finds space. He's got a shot opportunity. Sorokin makes a save, but the rebound almost goes in. Another shot, and Sorokin's going to cover that puck up. Columbus cycling big time. There's Johnson, Timotejchuk. Back to Johnson, one-timer, and Sorokin makes that sliding save. But the Columbus Blue Jackets still have that puck. We got to get out of the zone here, boys. Berkeley Catton's going to lose that puck, and here's Johnson. Now Johnson in space, shot, but Sorokin with a big-time save to DeBrincat. 1-on-3. He's got some help with Tim Stützle, though. Stützle, one-timer, but Jake Ottinger makes a fantastic save. Here is Fabry. Sends it over to Seabrook. So I guess Seabrook is on their top line. I just didn't notice. Here's Don Ritchie, loses that puck to Fabry. Kilger picks that up now, and he's got space to work with. He's quick, and he's going to make a move into the zone to Zadorov. Zadorov, shot, but what a save from Jake Ottinger. Sanderson goes back to retrieve that one, but he loses space with a great Columbus forecheck. And now backdoor is Johnson, but Sorokin with a big save. Here's Columbus. They win the draw, and now they're in the slot. Lawson Krause with a shot, but Sorokin again there to make that save. Here's Damien Pascal. The first line comes out. Pascal in space. He has room. Over to Tim Stützle, who's going to score. And Stützle is the overtime hero in game number 2 to put us up 2-0 in the series. Come on, Ottawa. And we're going to take a little break in the programming, as after that win, I forgot to check the comments of the last video. I always do this at the start of the episodes, but I completely forgot. So we're going to take a quick halt, and don't worry, it doesn't have any repercussions on the episode so far. But we do have a comment from Alexander P, who says, another great episode, Kronos, absolutely pumped for the playoffs. No pressure, but it's repeat or bust. That is true, man. So we do, since we won the cup last year, really the only way we can go from here is up. So we're going to be looking to repeat once again this season, and we have started very well already. He says, lots of crow being eaten with that DeBrincat plus Zadorov trade call, given the season they both had. Yeah, they both had incredible seasons, so thinking about trading them is really hard to muster, especially when we are such a good playoff team. But, you know, some changes might have to be made. He says, still partial to moving them, though. What can I say? I'm a size queen. Cat is aging, and Kilger, Tooten, Keatley, and Alfredson need top-line minutes as soon as next season. So we have a lot of young players who need a lot of ice time, and we do not have much space for them. So it's a really hard decision whether we want to make it. But for right now, at least, all we have to worry about is the playoffs. We have these guys here for our team right now. So let's just focus on the team in front of us, and that is the Columbus Blue Jackets, who we are currently up 2-0 against. But I do appreciate the comment, as always, Alexander. He has been supporting for quite some time now, so we always do appreciate comments from anybody and everybody who would like to leave them. That being said, though, game 3 starts, and we let in one shot on one goal. Tyler Bertuzzi is going to score, but then Rasmus Andersson answers back. First period now, it's 2-2. Andersson and Keatley score for us. Tyler Bertuzzi and Denton Matejchuk score for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Also, you know, if I'm saying any names wrong, like Denton Matejchuk, I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's just how I've always said it. So feel free to let me know in the comments. Here we go. Second period, though, underway. And it's 3-2 for the Columbus Blue Jackets. Now, the first time we've been down in the series going into the third period. It's our turn now to make a comeback. So let's do it, boys. Here we go. We're out shooting them 31-20. We deserve this one, so let's take it from their hands. Come on. We're at, yeah, there it is. Alex DeBrincat on that first line is going to rip one past Jake Ottinger. Now the power play is here, but we do not get anything going. Are we going to do it once again? Are we going to be going to overtime? It looks like it. And let's get into the second overtime in a row. Here we go, boys. Third game, overtime underway as Thomas Chabot dumps that puck in. Good way to start the overtime. Just get on that forecheck. Here's Pablo Kilger. The second unit is out, or second unit. The second line's out there. Kilger in space. There's Walker Reimer with a shot, but that gets blocked as Ruslan Zadorov chases it in the corner. Zadorov to Dobson. Back to Reimer. Zadorov now. Back to Dobson. Over to Jake Sanderson to Kilger. One-timer, and that's going to be a goal for the young Walker Reimer, who is the overtime hero of this game. That one was a short one, thank goodness. I didn't want to go another 10 minutes of real time in order to win. So big win for the Sens, and we are now up 3-0 in the series. So again, boys, no changes to be made after that one. We are currently up 3-0. No reason to cut them any slack either. Let's just go in and try to, you know, just belittle them as much as possible. Let's finish this one in 4. I know we can do it, guys. We are the President's Trophy winners for a reason, so let's get this show on the road. First period, Columbus comes out, though, and they say, we do not want to be beaten in 4. We at least want 1, so they go up 2-0 in the series as Matejchuk and Duret both score on Ilya Sorokin. Second period, we've had good second periods in this series, so let's try to keep that up. Second period, okay, 2-1. The lead dwindles by 1. We are now only down by 1, but the shot's in favor of Columbus. Third period gets underway, and Zach Werenski is going to put a stop to all my hopes and dreams, but Walker Reimer brings them back. Hang on a second. And there's Alex DeBrincat, who ties this game up at 3. Once again, for the second game in a row, Alex DeBrincat ties us up. So now it's up to the power play. Can we get something going here? No, we cannot. Penalty kill that off, and we do. Don't tell me, are we going for the third game in a row? That would be crazy, and we are. 3 games in a row, 3 overtimes in a row. This could be the end of the series, or it extends 1 or a few more games. Game 4, third overtime in this series alone. I'm going to be sitting here recording for 3 hours at this pace, but I do it for the boys, so let's get in there. Come on, boys. Here, Jake Sanderson. Finish it right now. Shot, but that is saved. Here's Alex DeBrincat in space to Tim Stützle, who's away, but what a save from Jake Ottinger, who's going to keep his team in this series for now. Oh my goodness, what a play from Jake Ottinger. Here comes Columbus. Columbus down. Bertuzzi. Seabrook in space, but Sorokin makes a big save, and he will cover that one up. Here is Berkeley Catton, who loses that draw, but Havlat gets in there. There's Tyler Seguin with a shot, but that is saved by Ottinger. Janssen with that puck. Sillinger in the slot, he's gonna score, and that's gonna put Columbus up in this game. Not just in this game, they win the game, and they now only trail the Ottawa Senators 3-1 off a heroic effort by Cole Sillinger. They're gonna tie this one up, or not, what am I saying? They won this game. And now the series is 3-1 in favor of us still. We go back to Ottawa, so let's have a good game. Okay, boys, back in the locker room. You know, you guys know what to do. We get back on the plane, come back to Ottawa, or the bus, or whatever it is, and we're back in Ottawa. Let's have some rest, you know, just relax. A nice, easy morning escape before this game. Don't need to make any changes. We're up 3-1 in the series. But I have not been liking the way that things have been going. We've been down in the game. In the last 2 games, we've been down in the third period. So I'm going to look for more of a, you know, game 1 effort, maybe game 2. But we've gone to overtime 3 out of 4 games. So, you know, although the series is 3-1, this is a much tighter series than it actually looks. So let's try to bury the Columbus Blue Jackets here in game number 5 and just show them that we are outright the better team. So let's go, boys. Here we go. First period, 0-0. Okay, it's going to be a tight one, huh? So my wishes don't look like they're coming true, but that's okay. We're in this game, 0-0. It's anybody's ball game. Sorokin's playing well so far. Let's continue that pace. Second period, oh my goodness. And Columbus takes a 3-0 lead, scoring 2 short-handed goals. Are you kidding me? Dykes and Tanner Janot both score, as does the 78 overall Kolyakonic. I'm not sure how to say it. And the Ottawa Senators have a second period collapse, man. Really brutal stuff here. And are we going to let Jake Ottinger get a shutout on us after he allows basically 4 goals in every other game? Is he going to shut us out in our home stadium? No, he will not, as Dimitri Tutin scores 1. But it really does not mean too much as the Sens fall 3-1, possibly 4-1 if they get an empty netter. But no, 3-1 to the Columbus Blue Jackets in game number 6. And now things get hairy. Or sorry, this is game 5. And now things definitely get hairy as we move back to Columbus for game 6, where they're going to be as motivated as ever to have a good game against us. Oh, that's bad. Ruslan Zadorov and Walker-Ram are both -3. I don't like that stat at all. So maybe look to move, like change them up a little bit. Okay, I'm not sure. I got to make line changes now, I think, though. We only score 1. And going into Columbus now for game 6, they're going to be super motivated to win this game. And then it's game 7. It's anybody's game. So we need to bury them right here, boys. We have to bury them. And so in order to do that, let's make some changes. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. This second line is -2. Okay, well, these 2 guys are both -2. So what I'm thinking is we bring up Dimitri Tutin to play in the middle. And Walker Reimer can play on that third line. He can be center. He has 80 faceoffs, so he can be a center on that third line anyways. Dimitri Tutin with 78 faceoffs is better than Ruslan Zadorov here. We put them in their natural wings. A small little change. I don't need to touch... Oh, the fourth line's actually -2 as well. So maybe Christian Havlat gets off that fourth line for Tyler Boucher, who has more playoff experience. And that way we go down now 0, something like that. And on defense, let's see, how are the boys doing? +3, -1 for Thomas Chabot, -2 for this second unit, -1 for Don Ritchie. Okay, let's make a slight change here. Don Ritchie coming out of the lineup for Kevin Ball. I just want defense, man. I just need defense. We need to keep that puck out of the net as much as possible. Now, other than that, I think Jake Clemenson can still stay up on that second unit. Goaltending-wise, Sorokin has been okay, but he hasn't been great. I'm too nervous to put in Marcus Vishnevsky, who has 67 poise in the playoffs, whereas Sorokin has 87. I just think it's smarter to keep Sorokin in there for now. So unless we lose this game, and lose it bad, I mean, like if Sorokin has a real bad game, I'm going to keep Sorokin in between the pipes. He was also our goalie of last year, so let's go, boys. We cannot make this game go to 7. We got to bury them here in game number 6. So let's start the simulation here. Simulate game 6, and let's go, boys. I want a massive performance out of us. I mean, I want to blow them out of the water, like a 6-1 game, a 6-0 game, something like that. I do not want to see us give Columbus any life. We gave them way too much in our own building, and they, you know, took it and ran with what we gave them. So we got to pull on that leash and make them feel our pain. I don't know, man. First period finishes 0-0 shots. Oh, we're almost doubling their shots, though. A dominant first period out of us. They're just being saved by Jake Oettinger right now, which is a problem that I was thinking about, as Jake Oettinger is a very good goaltender, can definitely win them some games. And that's good penalty killing. And Tyler Boucher, we put some energy into the lineup there, and he's going to suffice. We throw him in. We say, Tyler Boucher, we want you in there for your defense. But he says, watch this, coach. I'm going to bury one for you and show you that you made a good call on me by putting me in the lineup. Thank you very much, Tyler. Somebody's showing up for this game finally for these Sens. Oh my goodness. We're out shooting them 21-11. We're up 1-0. Come on, boys. I need a big third period. I'm looking at Walker Reimer, who got demoted to that third line. I'm looking at Dimitri Tutin, who was on that second line. I'm looking at the penalty killers to keep this game in our favor for now. And there's Alexander Wenberg, who's going to tie this one up at ones. Now I'm real nervous. This is anybody's game, and there's David Jiricek, who's going to score with like 2 minutes left in the game, and the Sens can't come back, and we have another third period collapse, man. Despite outshooting them 32-20, the Sens cannot win this game. We go, oh my goodness, I don't know what to say. We were destroying them the whole game, outshooting them, outplaying them, and yet we fall in like within 2 minutes, basically. Like they score like with 3 minutes left in the game, and then with 2 minutes left, and all of a sudden all the hard work we did that entire game is all for naught as we lose 2-1. I mean, what is that nonsense, bro? Kevin Ball's -2. I threw him in there for one game. He's -2. Rasmus Andersson -2. Russell Todorov, Robert Alfredson, Tim Stützle. Oh my goodness. So what do? We're not getting offense from our top guns. We're not getting offense from our depth. We've scored 2 goals in the past 2 games. Sorry, I didn't mean to go over there. We've scored 2 goals in the past 2 games. That's absolutely unacceptable. I need some offense, and I need it now. So what do I do when I'm not getting offense? I split the playmakers up. I think I split the playmakers up. Let's get Pablo Kilger up on that first line. We're going to throw Damian Pascal on the second line to be with... no. We'll keep it like this. Keeps it a +5. Then, Robert Alfredson, you've been okay. Walker Reimer -3. Oh my gosh, that's bad. Berkeley Catton's done nothing for me. At least Tyler Seguin has some points. What's Tyler Seguin's face-off rating? 80. Okay, he can play in the center. Oh, man, it's rough out here. Can I throw Edstrom? Oh, do I want to put Edstrom in there, though? I don't know anything about Edstrom, though. He's barely played for our team. Definitely Kevin Ball's getting out, though, because he was a -2 last game. Let's also do that. Put in Rasmus Anderson on that second unit, but is he a minus, though? Yeah, he's a minus player. But Don Ritchie and Rasmus Anderson weren't good together anyway, so... maybe it's the right call. Or we split up this unit. Ooh, I could see that. Like put Noah Dobson there. Put Shabbat with Clemenson here. Just split it up so more depth. And then goaltending-wise, Sorokin had a good game. I mean, he only let in 2 goals on 20 shots, I think. It's not amazing, but it's okay. I don't know what to do, boys. I'm nervous. I'm real nervous. We had a 3-1 lead. You know, we've come back from 3-1 in our favor. Like, we were down 3-1 and we've come back to win games. But I don't know if it's ever happened to us that we've lost after being up 3-1. And I do not want it to happen now. So I'm really trying to think what to do here. I think I like these lines. It's very nerve-wracking to go into a game, though, where we've only won in overtime except game number 1. And that's worrisome. It feels like, you know, we are actually the underdogs in this situation, despite being the best team in the NHL last year. But What can we do but go to game 7? So let's go, boys. Game number 7. This is where champions are made. Look it, we were up 3-1 in the series before. Last time we were at the Canadian Tire Center, you guys let it slip from us. Do not let it happen again. I will not ask again. I need performances out of the big 4. They've been fairly silent in this. I'm looking at Tim Stützle, I'm looking at Alex DeBrincat, Jake Sanderson, Thomas Chabot. Show me you guys still want to be on this team, because if we end up like losing round 1 after being up 3-1 in the series, there will be massive repercussions in the offseason. I am not joking when I say that, so do not disappoint me, boys. I need a huge game out of you. I want to bury these guys. Show them that it was just a fluke they beat us 3 games in this series. That's ridiculous. We were the best team in the NHL, and we got to show them why, because a performance like this is absolutely unacceptable. First period goes by, 0-0 is the score. Second period underway now. I don't care if they have Jake Oettinger, who's playing like a god out there. We need to find a way to beat him. We need to find a way to score, because these last 2 games we've only had 2 goals for. That's absolutely unacceptable. Power play, can you get something going for me? Of course you can't. I need to change that power play. Penalty killers, please. Please, it's a long one. Refs, what are you doing? Put your whistles away. It's 0-0 going into game number 3. The tough love hasn't been working, so I guess we're going to have to soften them up a little bit. Look at, boys. We're the best team in the league this year. 53 wins, the best Ottawa Senators team to ever hit the ice in the regular season. Wouldn't it be so embarrassing if we dropped out of the playoffs in round number 1 after being up 3-1? We don't want to be the laughingstock of the NHL. We don't want to be the next Toronto Maple Leafs. Let's go out there, let's have a fantastic game, and let's smack these Columbus Blue Jackets in the 3rd period, all right? All we have to do is win the 3rd period, we win the game. So come on, boys. I know we can do it. I have faith in us from the top of the lineup to the bottom. Somebody's going to score for me, and we're going to get out of this. I know we will. It's only the first round, and there it is, Dimitri Tutin. That's what you have to do. Sometimes you got to butter your team up, man. You got to go into the locker room as the GM, and you got to butter them up sometimes. And now the refs are in our back pocket too, giving us a 5-on-3 that we don't score on it, which is very disappointing. Halfway through the 3rd period now, Columbus gets a power play, and our penalty killers go to work killing that sucker off. Only 2 minutes left, 1 minute, and Ilya Sorokin. Ilya Sorokin is the hero of this game. You know, after having fairly average games, he comes out, he gives us a shutout on only 23 shots, sure, but when we need him most, what do good goalies do? They win you games, they win you series sometimes, and Ilya Sorokin is no exception to that rule. He goes out there and he says, Coach, GM, I know I haven't had the best series. I know I've allowed, 4 goals, 3 goals in most of the games, right? I've allowed 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 3 goals, 2 goals. But don't worry. I've allowed 3 goals in most games, but that's okay. When it matters most, in Game 7, our backs pressed up against the wall. We've got no arm room to swing for the fences. I'm going to shut it down defensively. They won't score. We just need to get 1, and I'll get us the win. That's what a good goalie can do for you in the playoffs, boys. So that's a huge, huge win, a huge weight lifted off my shoulders as well as GM. We at least, at the very, very least, get out of round 1. Which is, oh my goodness. And seeing our 2nd round matchup, of course it is. Of course. It has to be. I'm surprised we haven't had this before, but the Battle of Ontario in round number 2. Oh my goodness. And their team looks good, but not great. It looks very similar to the Columbus Blue Jackets, but this is a crazy story. If you guys don't know, the Battle of Ontario, I think Toronto owns the Ottawa Senators in the Battle of Ontario in the playoffs, at least. Since like the early 2000s, Ottawa's never beat Toronto, maybe like once or twice, but in my memory, I can't remember really Ottawa winning. So pretty insane stuff. Colton Perez is here. He was an 11th round pick in 2024, sniper, medium elite, 23-year-old with 5-star shooting. He can definitely put that puck in the net. Only 4 A goal, 4 points in 5 games for him. Jake Evans on the first line at an 84 overall, only 1 point in 5 games. That's a weakness we can exploit, as is Alex Tuch on the first line, only 83 overall. But their second line, for some reason, with Johnny Gaudreau and Mitch Marner, just move these two up to the first line wingers, and that's a way better line. I don't know what they're doing here in Toronto, but it definitely worked because they went out in 5 games. So Johnny Gaudreau, obviously an incredible player, 6 points in 5 games. Yeah, the second line is going to be the line we have to shut down. Colin White here with 3 points in 5 games, former Ottawa Senator. And then Mitch Marner with 6 assists in 5 games. Mitch Marner, the big piece that we have to shut down. On that third line now, Bobby Brink, okay, Rem Pitlick, and Jonathan Drouin as an 86 overall with 3 goals in 5 games. Third line, Christian Vesalainen, Igor Shangovich, and Owen Tippett, 84 and 83 overall on your fourth line. That's some good depth. So Toronto, good depth, but not like the massive stars. They do have Mitch Marner, obviously a massive star, but on their second line, he's not getting as much ice time as he should be. So let's hope that can work in our favor. Out here on defense, we have Morgan Riley and Gavin Sopel, who was a 4th-round pick in 2024. So they had was the other guy a 2024 pick as well? Yeah, so they had a big first round in 2024. That's pretty crazy. Gavin Sopel, he's a medium elite two-way defender. Okay, hasn't grown that much though. Morgan Riley at 36, not the same player that he was before, but still averaging 25 minutes a night. Second pair now, Caleb Jones and Justin Barron. This is where we have them beat. And defense, Ryder Skill and Radek McCulloch. So our defensive core, much stronger than theirs. I'm hoping we can have an advantage keeping the puck out of the net. And here is former Ottawa Senator Mads Sogard. He played 1, 2, 3, 4, and then he was in our system. He played 4 full seasons with the Ottawa Senators before we let him walk. He's making 1.8 mil with the Toronto Maple Leafs, backed up by Cal Peterson. So I say we have the advantage in nets, but with an angry Mad Sogard between the pipes, playing his former team, he's always going to have that chip on his shoulder. So makes me a little bit nervous for sure. We got to get through. We can't let Mitch Marner tear it up on us. We can't let Johnny Gaudreau tear it up. We do have the better defensive core, but offense, our offense has been hit or miss. It's either been there or it really hasn't. So can't really focus on that, but we need to keep the puck out of the net in this series. Okay, so the game plan is set here. It is now us against Toronto. Game 1 at the Canadian Tire Center. These two teams have massive history as the Battle of Ontario has waged on in, the early 2000s. And then it kind of stopped for about 2 decades, it seems like. But we are back, and Alex Tuch is going to open up the scoring in this series. First period, and Toronto is up 3-1. Alex DeBrincat scores on Mad Sogard, but that is 3 goals against Ilya Sorokin on 10 shots. I do not like that stat whatsoever. Second period now. Come on, boys. We need a big second period. 5-2 for Toronto. 5 goals on 10 shots on Ilya Sorokin. Keegan Keatley scores 1 for us. That is just absolutely unacceptable stuff. And the Toronto Maple Leafs, who, finished their series in 5 games, look like they're about to sweep us in 4, man. They are winning this game 6-2 already. We can't get anything going on the power play. At least our penalty kill kills that penalty off. But then Morgan Riley snipes one past Ilya Sorokin. And Sorokin might have just played his way out of the starter spot, to be quite honest, because that is an embarrassing performance from the offense and the defense. A 7-2 loss. Everybody's going to be minus in this one, huh? -2s. Only -2s, though. We've had worse minuses in the past. That fourth line, we just can't get that fourth line going, man. They're just minus, they're real big minuses in this series, which I'm very disappointed about, but everybody else is minus. There's only 3 people on the team who aren't minus, and it's the first line. So yeah, really awful game, as I don't need to tell you guys. You all know that. 7-2 loss. That is not good. So let's simulate to the next game. I gotta take him out. We can't be losing a 7-2. I know he just got a shutout for us, but good lord. 7 goals against is absolutely unacceptable from Sorokin, who has an .888 save percentage. Let's get Marcus Vishnevsky in between the pipes there. And for this series, let's see, new team, new lines, right? That's what people say. It's a new team. You got to have new lines for them. But do we -1, 0, okay. Like Martians the Dwarves -3. These guys are minus as well. I don't know what to do, though. This fourth line is a real big minus. See, Telly Boucher's played 3 games. He's a -2. Do we have anybody we could throw in? We could throw in Adam Edstrom. But, it's so risky, though. It's so risky. Yeah, he hasn't played any playoff games in the NHL. So let's keep the team how it is for now. We're just going to make the goaltending change, and the boys got to show up for this one. We got booed out of our own stadium, just like the Blue Jays did a few nights ago. Shout out to them. So here we go, boys. Ottawa, and that's a great way to start. Keegan Keatley has been on fire this playoff run, and then Mitch Marner's going to score a shorthanded goal. Are you kidding me? Come on, Vishnevsky. You got to keep that puck out of the net. First period. Okay. It's going to end 1-1. Vishnevsky playing better than Sorokin did. I will say that. Keegan Keatley has been on fire this playoff run. He's had a pretty good playoffs. I've noticed him quite a bit. Second period now underway. Game tied at 1 still. I need some offense, boys. We are like the best offensive team in the NHL, or one of them at least. So I need a way better performance out of the offense from this. We are also the best defensive team. So, like, I don't know, man. We need to score. There we go. Damian Pascal's going to score on the power play. Both power play goals for us means our 5-on-5 is not clicking the way that I would like it to, but Vishnevsky in his first playoff game is going to have a great save percentage. At least his first starting playoff game. He did have a little bit of a I think he came in for a few shots in one of the other games, but Vishnevsky there, a .956 save percentage, 22 save night on 23 shots. I will take that every single day of the week. Dimitri Tutin with 2 assists and Damian Pascal with a goal. Not going to look at the lines, not going to look at the plus or minus or anything like that. It seems like the goaltending change did us well. We're tied at 1-1 now in this series. We're going to Toronto where we've got to steal one on the road. You know what they say, you're never in trouble till you lose on home ice. We lost in the first game on home ice, so we now need to take one back and split the home and home plays there. The 2 games at home, we gotta take one of these. Here we go. First period, it's a 5-on-3. Oh my gosh. First period, 1-0 Senators. We were on the penalty kill, but we end up killing those power plays off, and DeBrincat is going to score on Mads Søgaard. That is the thing. We have practiced with Mads Søgaard many times in the past, for a few years, so we know his tendencies, his weaknesses. He's a big boy, but we can get that puck past him. Second period underway now. Oh my goodness, and the boys deliver. DeBrincat gets a hat-trick in the second period alone, but his hat-trick in the actual game comes 30 minutes and 2 seconds into the game. DeBrincat has a hat-trick, Walker Reimer with a goal, and Pablo Kilger as well. DeBrincat with 2 power play goals and 2 regulation goals. Yeah, DeBrincat just all over this game, putting his imprint on the Toronto Maple Leafs, and this is a very weird, there's Tyler Seguin getting his first of the playoffs, I believe. This is a weird situation that we have, though. Oh, and Sorokin's between the pipes again. I forgot to put Vishnevsky in there, but Sorokin playing well, so I'm not going to complain about it. This is a weird situation where we have both teams, when they were at home for their first game, get destroyed by the away team, which is something you do not see very often. But it looks like Sorokin just needed that one little game to calm his nerves, to get him into the series. We take him out, we give him a little shot to the kidneys. We say, hey buddy, you're not invincible either. DeBrincat with a 6-point night. We say, hey, you're not invincible, Sorokin. If you have a bad game, I'm gonna let you know. Then we threw him back in there for game number 3, and he delivers a 1 goal against, just like Vishnevsky did the night before. So great goaltending in these past 2 games. DeBrincat with a 6-point night, but before that he only had 5 points in 10 games before that, or 9 games before that. So bit concerning from DeBrincat, but we move on to game number 4 now. Game 4 at the Scotiabank Arena. We're in Toronto. Just a little drive across the way there, so let's get this show on the road here. First period, 3-2 for the Maple Leafs. Sorokin allows 3 on 12, but Pablo Kilger and Keegan Keatley gonna get us within 1. All right, boys, we need a big second period once again. We scored 5 in the last second period, so let's try to do that again, please. Second period, and Toronto's gonna score 1. It is Perez who's gonna score on Ilya Sorokin to give Toronto a 2-goal lead going into the third period. We need a big one, and it's Ruslan Zadorov going to get us back within 1 with 18 minutes left in the game. Come on. No, we don't score on that power play. We get another chance, though. The refs are feeding this to us, but we can't get anything going. Come on, boys. I need some. And there's Tyler Boucher. We put him on the fourth line in Game 7 there, and he delivers with a goal with 8 minutes left. There's only one now left in the game, and we are going to overtime, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. Overtime, Game 4. This will either put us up 3-1 in the series or tie the series up at 2. So a win here would be massive for the Sens. We would go up once again 3-1 in the series. But looking at how that last series played out, I don't know if we want to go up 3-1. But I'm just kidding, of course. That would be an amazing thing to do, go up 3-1. That would be very nice for sure. Tim Stützle goes offside. Here's Zadorov. Zadorov streaking into the zone. He has space. He tries to send it across, but now he gets a shot off. That hits the post, though, as Mads Søgaard is there to make a little bit of a save. I think it hit off his glove and then hits the post. Here's Mitch Marner. Marner finds Gaudreau with a shot. But thank goodness Sorokin is there to make that save. This is a dangerous, dangerous line that we have out there, but our first line is up against them, so I like the matchup. Pablo Kilger. Kilger finds Stützle. Stützle coming out, finds Chabot, shot, but Mads Søgaard makes that save to Stützle. Now Stützle, the back door was wide open with DeBrincat down there, and now we lose that puck at the blue line, and Colin White has space. Here is Robert Alfredson, finds Tim Stützle. Stützle now in space, shot, but Mads Søgaard makes a big time save. That was a very dangerous opportunity. Oh no, and I don't know who that was, but we take a penalty. It might have been Berkeley Catton that took it. No, it wasn't. It was Tyler Boucher who took a penalty, and that's a big time save from Ilya Sorokin to keep this one tied at 4s. But slashing a penalty out of Tyler Boucher here, are we going to be able to see the penalty? I don't think we will, but it's an awful, awful slashing penalty to take about 150 feet away from your own ice. Here it is, just a nothing stick lift, and that's going to put us in the box for 2 minutes. Now, we have had a good penalty kill in the season, so let's try to keep that one up, though. Ruslan Zadorov taking a draw. I do not like that because his face-off rating is so low. It means that they're going to get the puck, and Johnny Gaudreau with an opportunity there, but Sorokin hangs on. Here's Johnny Gaudreau coming in 1-on-2. Evans shot, saved. Another shot that's also saved by Sorokin, and Sanderson will get that puck out. Here comes Alex Tuch. Toronto have not been able to set up in the zone, but they might not need to. Good save from Sorokin. Now that puck goes back to Bobby Brink. Sopel with a slap shot. That's also saved by Sorokin, and Jake Clemenson will get that puck up to Jake Sanderson, who loses it at the red line. And now Alex Tuch is in on a breakaway, almost a partial break at least, but Jake Clemenson comes back and deals with that. Sopel to White. Big save from Sorokin, as he has been our best penalty killer so far, which you need out of your goaltender. So big things coming out of Sorokin. And Zadorov loses that puck in the slot, off the post, and it stays out somehow. Sanderson, now get the puck out, boys. Just ice it. Dmitry Tutin finds Ruslan Zadorov. Zadorov spins, takes a shot, and he's going to score. Ruslan Zadorov puts the Sens up 3-1. The massive playmaker is going to find his space off spinning off the defender there and putting it short side on Mads Søgaard, who was unsuspecting. A big penalty kill from the Sens is going to lead to us being up 3-1 in the series. Fantastic goal, Ruslan Zadorov. Let's go, boys. And that is a massive win for the Senators. We are now up 3-1 in the series for the second time in this playoffs. We're up 3-1. So, boys, I don't want any messing around. This is not like the Columbus Blue Jackets series. Let's just get this one over with. Show the Toronto Maple Leafs that the Battle of Ontario is not as one-sided as they believed. And let's just take them out in 5. Let's get this first period done. 3-1 for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the first period there. Jonathan Drouin is going to score, then Jake Evans and Christian Vesalainen. So 3 goals on 12 shots for Ilya Sorokin. I'm not liking that. I might have to throw Marcus Vishnevsky in there. Damien Pascal at least gets 1 on Mads Søgaard, but real bad defending out of our boys here in this series. It's a really offensive series, which I would say that I have faith in our boys, but we have not been scoring very much on Mads Søgaard, so it's kind of concerning. Second period, now I need a big one. We're at Canadian Tire Center. Let's show the home fans that we're not just going to roll over like game one. Second period, there it is, 3-3. Big comeback out of the Sens in that period. Toronto only gets 3 shots that period as well, so that's huge. Damien Pascal with his second of the night, and then Keegan Keatley has been a very good goal scorer for us. He's going to get his, I don't know, his 7th or 8th goal of this playoff run, feels like, tie us up at 3s. Third period is underway now. Sens looking for offense and also looking to just keep that puck out of the net. There's a power play opportunity, goes nowhere. Okay, that's a penalty killers. Nah, we can't get it done, and Johnny Gaudreau gonna put his Leafs up by 1. Now we're only down by 1, and Damien Pascal gets the hat trick to tie things up at 4s with 5 minutes remaining in the third period. Shots heavily in our favor, but the score, as Perez is gonna score with a minute and a half left, and I realize that is now on Marcus Vishnevsky, who was in the nets. It seems like after the 3 goals on 12 shots, Marcus Vishnevsky got in. Was that what happened? Yeah. So Mads Søgaard got pulled, Ilya Sorokin got pulled after that shot here by Mitch Marner at 14:51. So Vishnevsky was in the net for a long time in that game. Unfortunately, it's not enough though, as he lets in a goal with a minute and a half left, and Perez gets the game-winning goal for the Toronto Maple Leafs. Despite them being outshot by 11, they win the game 5-4. That's so unacceptable, man. 3 stars of the night are Ruslan Zadorov, Damien Pascal, who scored a hat-trick, and then Jake Evans, who had 2 points. So who's the minuses on the team? Like, why are we playing so poorly? I don't understand. Tim Stützle, DeBrincat, Kilger. So the first line was really bad. Don Ritchie was bad. That fourth line is getting torn up. A lot of, I don't know, man. I don't know. Do I throw Ruslan Zadorov up there on the first line? Do I put Damien Pascal up there? We're still up 3-2 in the series. I'm going to throw Marcus Vishnevsky in the net, though, for this game, because Sorokin has been playing absolutely shamefully. We've been getting smoked here. He's an .890 save percentage, and Marcus Vishnevsky is a .941 save percentage. Only been in 3 games, but still. Sorokin is just allowing way too many goals way too early. So let's get I don't think I'm going to change the lines other than that. Let's just put Vishnevsky in and see what happens here. I know he can do it. I have faith in him. It's now a 3-2 series. Come on, boys. We cannot go down. And we're going back to Toronto. This is the exact same situation as Columbus. They won Game 6 in their building. So we need to snuff this out before they can spread this flame. Let's put let's extinguish this fire, boys. Come on. First period in Toronto. Underway, 1-1. Again, they get the first goal, but at least we don't allow multiple in the first period. 10 minutes later, Jake Sanderson's going to tie us up at 1s. Second period, Vishnevsky, you've been playing well so far. I need you to keep it up. I know it's a lot to ask out of a rookie, but you have to keep this up. Second period, 3-2 Sens. Let's go. DeBrincat and Stützle going to score on Søgaard. Alex Tuch brings his team back within 1, but we are still up going into the third period. Vishnevsky playing well so far. Third period underway. Toronto pressing for some offense. Ottawa playing that defensive style that we are used to. This is a prototypical playoff game. 3-2 in the third period, but Alex Tuch gets his second of the night to tie it up at 3s. Do not allow another goal late in the period, boys. I would be very disappointed. And Jake Sanderson is going to score to put the Ottawa Senators into the next round. Yes, he will. And Tim Stützle will bury an empty netter. Massive game from Jake Sanderson, as he had 2 goals in the night. His game-winning goal here to put the Sens into round 3, boys. Let's go. 3 stars of the night. Tim Stützle, Jake Sanderson, Alex Tuch, and the Sens are off to the third round for the 3rd time in a row. We're either playing the Philadelphia Flyers or the Carolina Hurricanes. So both great teams, and we are in for a treat here in the Eastern Conference Finals. We get a little bit of time to rest as well, so massive rest days there, and we are going to be playing the Philadelphia Flyers. Let's take a look. I believe they were the 2nd best team in the NHL. I just want to take a quick look at it. Let's go entire league. They were the 3rd best team in the entire NHL. So the best team and the 3rd best team going at it against one another here. Very scary stuff. And out in the West, it's the Winnipeg Jets against the Vegas Golden Knights. Actually, let's take a look at the playoff tree real quick, just to see how things shaped up. So obviously, Toronto beat Buffalo. The Flyers obviously beat the Rangers, and then Carolina beat Pittsburgh out in the East. So then the Philadelphia Flyers beat the Carolina Hurricanes to face us. Out in the West, we had Vegas beating out the second best team in the NHL in 7 games. Then they beat the San Jose Sharks in 7 as well. Now they're going to the Western Conference Finals against Winnipeg. Winnipeg beat Colorado and the Minnesota Wild, who are obviously a titan in this universe with Austin Matthews and Kirill Kaprizov. So that's what it looks like. These are the top 4 teams in the NHL. It is the Sens, the Flyers, the Jets, and the Vegas Golden Knights. So a good Eastern and Western Conference Finals we have on our hands, and we are playing the 3rd best team in the NHL, a clash of the Titans, if you will. Let's see what their team holds for us. Philadelphia, where are you? Here we go. So, ooh, looking at this, I see a glaring weakness immediately. I see a center depth. They don't really have anything. They have an 79 overall on their 3rd line. They have an 80 overall on their 2nd line. We can take care of that. They do have Dominic Grosek, who has 13 points in 13 games. Good for him. He's a playmaker with tape-to-tape zone ability. An amazing player for sure. Then they have Caden Wall, who's a sniper. Okay, so he's the finisher on this line. He has 5 goals in 13 games. And then Holtz as well, another sniper with 10 points, 13. So that's a great first line, amazing first line that they have. Not the high overalls, but they do have the depth there. So and they're all bumped up by their 89 overall Grosek, who was drafted 1st overall 2024. All right, fair enough. Then 31-year-old Braden Hagel, with Scott Reedy and Chinakov on his, in his center, in his right wing. Honestly, I'm not impressed by this second line. And yeah, they're not doing too much. Braden Hagel, 8 points, 13 games. But other than that, they're minus players. This is the weakness that we need to exploit. With Damian Pascal, Ruslan Zadorov, and Dmitry Tutin, we got to exploit that for sure. 3rd line is good with Joel Farabee, who should be up on that 3rd line. If he was up on that 3rd line, I'd be much more scared of it. Or sorry, on that 2nd line, not that 3rd line. But getting 6 points in 13 games, good for a 3rd liner. Callum Ritchie as well, 5 points in 13 games. That's pretty good. And Josh Anderson with 6. So this 3rd line's actually performing very well. We got to watch out for that. Then they have Jacob Verana with 4 goals in 13 games, getting 9 minutes a night. That's scary. Luke Kunin with 8 assists in 13 games. Yikes. And then Svechnikov with 2 assists. So a good forward core. Oh, of course. How could I forget? We traded Eric Brandstrom to the Philadelphia Flyers in exchange for like 3 first-round picks or 2 first-round picks, I believe. So this is a massive player for them. He's played 4 years here in Philly after we traded him. He's had 50-point seasons basically every year. He's a plus 33 this year. He's playing alongside Mikey Anderson. And in the playoffs, he has 5 points in 13 games. Real good. And they have Artem Zub, former Sens, coming to batter us here. This is so scary. Mikey Anderson with Eric Brandstrom, of course, man. Oh my goodness. Noah Hannafin is here with Artem Zub, and then Cam York and Matthias Norlander. Yeah, they have a real good defensive core. Really strong defensive core. Goaltending wise, it's 88 overall Carter Hart. So this is going to be a very hard series. We have the offense. They have great defense. I think we still have higher overalls, but their defense is very deep, very strong, and they have the better goaltender. So it's going to be a real tough series. We're in for a treat. Any hockey fans out there are dying to watch how this one performs or how this one goes anyways. I'm going to put Wisniewski in the nets because I don't trust Sorokin after what he did in that last series. I do not trust him at all. I'd rather put Wisniewski there. So game 1, we're at Canadian Tire Center, but this is just an absolute titanic clash here between the Sens and the Flyers. I don't know if they have much history. I'm thinking back. I don't remember massive history. There might have been some playoff series between them, but I don't think it's massive bad blood. So this is a new team. This is, Eric Brandstrom and Artem Zub coming for their revenge. So let's get that first period underway, and it's 1-1. Thomas Chabot opens up the scoring in the series, and then that 3rd line of Callum Ritchie, who has played quite well for them, is going to tie the game up. Shots doubled by the Philadelphia Flyers. We only have 6. 6. They have 11. And now we're going into the second period here. Second period. The Sens come out on home ice and they show up for me. Thank you, Stützle, DeBrincat, that first line, getting it done against their weaker first line, and then Zadorov as well, torching their second line. Thank you very much, boys. Third period underway. Let's get to Carter Hart a little bit. Let's blow him out. Let's make him think, oh man, maybe I don't have this. Maybe I'm not the best goalie in this series, as Marcus Wisniewski is holding the fort down for us. Power play, it's a super long one. Don't get anything out of it, but at least we are killing many minutes with these power plays. That's another double minor power play that we get, and we're going to end that game 4-1. Amazing game out of Wisniewski and the offense. That's what I love to see. How many penalties did they take? They took a double minor and they took 2 minors before that. So how many? We got 1 penalty here and 3. So it was 3-3 in the penalties. You can't complain about it. They just got penalties at the wrong time. But a 4-1 victory for the Sens is huge for us. Wisniewski with a .965 save percentage. I love this man. Tim Stützle with 2 points. DeBrincat with 2 points as well. Since I have auto rotate goalie off, got to remember to go into the lines and change out Sorokin for Wisniewski. Whenever I do, if you guys play GM mode, whenever you go over to edit the lines, like for me, so when I'm here and I go over to edit the lines, I'm always scared that I'm going to hit advanced day. It's like my biggest fear ever. So anyways, that's just a complete anecdote, nothing bearing on this playoff run or anything. But here we go, against the Philadelphia Flyers at Game 2. No changes to be made to the lineup. That was a great game from us. So let's go here, boys. Game number, power play, hang on. Okay, now they have a 5-on-3. That's real bad. And we're going to score shorthanded. Jake Clemenson, that might be his first of the series. This is just a special teams blowout here. And first period finishes 3-1 for the Sens. Chinikov on that second line, I believe, scores. And then Don Ritchie, the offensive defenseman, his rookie playoff run, he's going to score. And Alex DeBrincat will as well. So special teams, a big factor already in this game, as our shorthanded unit goes out and gets one for us. Wisniewski has allowed 1 goal on 3 shots. That's not good, but I will say we are up by 2. So our offense is coming to play in this series, thank goodness. Second period now, 5-1 Sens. Let's go, boys. Tootin on that second line, Sagan on that fourth line. No need to talk about it. We're up 5-1. And also Marcus Wisniewski, he let in 1 goal and 3 shots, then he shut the door completely. That's what I love seeing out of a young goaltender there. So huge game from Marcus Wisniewski once again. Big game from the offense as well, scoring 6 goals already in this game. There's still 5 minutes left as well. Go out and get another one, boys. I don't mind. You guys can help yourselves to as many goals as you want. They say we're going to stop at 6, coach. No problem there. Wisniewski makes 25 saves on 26 shots. The 3 stars of the night are DeBrincat, Stützle, and Chabot. I don't know why I did them in that order, but either way, big performance out of the boys. And look at this. In these last 2 games, Marcus Wisniewski has held them to 2 goals against. We've outscored the Philadelphia Flyers 10-2 in these last 2 games. So let's keep that going. No need to change the lines once again. All I'm going to do here is just put Wisniewski in the net, and we're gonna go for game 3. We are at Philadelphia, though. We are what were they called? The Philadelphia, they had a cool nickname that I'm forgetting now. It's not coming to my memory. But either way, they're big and bad. Was it the Big Bad Philly? No, I don't know. Anyways, they're known for their toughness at home. So let's go in there and play that skilled game, play a tough game as well. We don't have Brady Tkachuk with us anymore, but he left a lasting impact on this team nonetheless. And Robert Alfredson's going to score in between penalties there. He is a massive penalty killer for us, Robert Alfredson is. But now Eric Brandstrom puts his mark on this series. First period finishes, yikes, 4-1. Why is Sorokin? Didn't I put in Wisniewski? Sorokin allows 4 goals on 16 shots. Did I not put in Wisniewski in the net? Hang on, let's look at shots. I swear I did. I swear. Wisniewski started the game, and then he left the game 5 minutes in, and now Sorokin's in the net for some reason. What the heck is that? That's ridiculous, man. Okay, so Sorokin in the net allows 4 on 16. I mean, they do have an explosive first period there, and they are definitely due for some goals. Second period, though, need a big second period. We've had them before. I need another one out of you. I know it's a lot to ask, offense. This is a lot to ask out of you, but just get us within distance. Come on, boys. Second period, okay. The lead shortens to only 2 now. Damien Pascal scores 2, 1 on the power play, 1 even strength. Now the third period, this is what it all comes down to here. Power play, 5-on-3, come on. Leads nowhere, so we cannot capitalize. And Carter Hart is trying to shut this game down, but Jake Sanderson will score. Now we're only within one. But Braden Hagel gets another one on Sorokin, who has allowed 6 goals on 33 shots. Unfortunate that he's in the net there. I don't really understand why. It feels like EA Voodoo coming to get me for some reason. Vishnevsky gets pulled. 3 stars of the night are Chinikov, Hagel, and Wall. They have an explosive first period, but I'm not about to give up on the boys. Hang on, let me make sure Vishnevsky, he didn't get hurt either. So I don't know why. I would have expected him to be injured, but he's not. Sorokin, horrible numbers. Vishnevsky, great numbers. So Vishnevsky, you're in the net. You're in the starting position. So let's hope that he can stay in this game. I don't know what happened. He got a minor injury. Maybe he's fighting through it. Let's just say that for storyline's sake. But either way, game 4 against Philadelphia. When we've had Vishnevsky in the net, we've been amazing. We also scored 4 goals that game, so I'm not worried about our offense. Just worried about the defensive side of the puck. So let's play smart defensively and get through the first period. 2-1 for the Flyers. We score first, but then Eric Brandstrom, who has our number, and Luke Cunnin both score for the Flyers. Vishnevsky, man, gotta see you shut it down here. I'm harping on Ilya Sorokin, so I gotta do the same thing for you. 2 goals on 11 shots is not ideal. Second period, I need a big second period once again. We've been able to score 4 or more in every single game, so let's do it again. Second period. I love these guys. I freaking love you boys so much. Damien Pascal, Robert Alfredson, Dimitri Tutin. Massive performers for us this playoff run, and it's not ending yet. And Vishnevsky does not allow any in that second period. Third period underway now. They start on the power play. That's not good, but then it goes to us. Are we going to get a power play goal? No, we will not. And there's Callum Ritchie scoring on the power play. Callum Ritchie, that third line, definitely a sleeper line for them. But then Pablo Kilger on the first line for us is going to put one past Carter Hart. Okay, that's good. Reinstates the 2-goal lead for us. Now power play will at least kill off 2 minutes on that clock, and the game ends 5-3. So Vishnevsky, and that's not a bad game out of Vishnevsky either. 31 saves on 34 shots is pretty good. And every single time we've had Vishnevsky in the net, we've won. When we've had him in there for the whole game, at least. I know we started game 3, but he got pulled for some reason after a few goals. No, he didn't even let in any goals. He just got pulled. And Ilya Sorokin allowed 7 goals. So we're up 3-1 in the series. We're going back home. If you're ever going to finish a series, it's now. This is the 3rd time in a row we've been up with a 3-1 lead. I'm getting sick and tired of us being up 3-1 and then losing game 5. Let's just win it, boys. Let's just win it and rest for those Stanley Cup finals. But we can't look ahead to the Stanley Cup final quite yet. We have to finish off. Oh my gosh, I almost started simulating when I forgot to put Vishnevsky there. We can't look ahead to the Stanley Cup finals. We have to finish off these Flyers. In game 5, Vishnevsky has been playing great for us. Let's keep him in the net. Game 5, Canadian Tire Center is popping. They've seen their team in the playoffs many times now, and we're just going to bring magic back. Oh my gosh, first shot of the game goes in on Vishnevsky. First period, 1-1. Okay, we tie things up. Tyler Boucher ties it up on that 4th line. Shots 18-4. The Sens came out rocking, pelting at Carter Hart with as many shots as possible, just throwing everything at the net as you have to do in playoff hockey. But Carter Hart, he's been embarrassed this series, allowing 4 goals at least in every single game. So he definitely wants a better series than the one he's been having. So he's going to try to shut it down for the Flyers. But we have a dynamic offense, and we're going to try to bury that puck. Second period, 3-1 Sens. Thank you very much. Ruslan Zadorov, Pablo Kilger. I love Pablo Kilger, man. I feel like I have my biases every once in a while, but I feel like Pablo Kilger just simulates so well in these, when we go into the games. He always scores a goal for me. I love it so much. Either way, third period underway. We're up 3-1 in the series. Just shut it down. This is what I love about this is the perfect playoff game. Score 3 goals, allow less than 3. Keegan Keatley is going to score to get us up 4-1 in the series. I will jump in if we keep this lead with like a minute left, maybe 2 minutes left, just to see the celebration. And I'll jump in with 48 seconds left. We are currently up 4-1. Here we go, boys. We have that third line out there of Keegan Keatley, Walker Reimer, and who's the left winger? I can't think who it is. Robert Alfredson, of course, Alfredson out there. So let's put the fourth line out there. We're up 4-1. Let's throw them out there. Why not? Up against their first line, but I have faith in our boys for sure. Only 41 seconds left and up by 3. So I'm not worried about the outcome of this one. And that was, for once, that was a dominant playoff performance series where I wasn't sweating. I wasn't worried about the 3-1 comeback for the Flyers. And I think a lot of it has to do with Marcus Wisniewski. You know, that's another goal for us. Thank you very much. Tyler Boucher scores his second. Is it Tyler Boucher because he's American? I don't know. But we're going to get another goal there. Up 5-1 now in the game. You know, the hits leaders of the league. Doesn't matter that we're not up there because we are bringing the offense. I'll say that, man. We have a dynamic offense where we can put, at any time, we can put that puck in the net. Any line can do it. Tyler Seguin on the fourth line with Burke the Catton can do it. You know, we have that third line of Walker Reimer, who's a massive playoff performer in the past for us. We have the second line with Damien Pascal, 35 goal scorer, and then we have the 99-point Alex DeBrincat on the first line. So any line can really get it done here. Here's Alexander Holtz coming in with not much time left in the game. We're not even going to let them get a shot off. And Eric Brandstrom and the Philadelphia Flyers fall to the Ottawa Senators in 5 games. And Ottawa moves on to the Stanley Cup Finals for the 3rd year in a row, I believe it is. So a huge props to the Sens. Huge props to all of you for building this team with me as well. And now it just comes down to the trophy ceremony here. Will Thomas Chabot decide to touch the trophy or will he not? As you see there, nice moment between Chabot and Brandstrom, former line mates, former teammates, you know, good friends, but it's not about that. It's about winning games, and Thomas Chabot decides not to touch the Prince of Wales trophy as he wants that Stanley Cup. All right, boys, and here we are. We beat out Philadelphia in 5 games. So now let's take a look at who we will be playing in the Stanley Cup Finals. And it's a Battle of Canada here, as it was last year. Last year it was with Calgary. This year it's with the Winnipeg Jets. I have to do the scouting as well, but good Lord, I'm not worried about that when we're in the Stanley Cup Finals once again. So let's take a look at their team, at their roster. I don't even want to do the scouting either right now. I'm just gonna whatever happens with the scouting. It happens. They have a real good first line. They got X factors everywhere, but they do have 78 overall John Tavares, but I'm sure he's performing well. Yeah, exact AHL top 6 forward, but 12 points in 18 games. That's nothing to sneeze at. Mikko Pitkinen, only 11 in 18 as a high elite player. He was drafted 3rd overall 2025. Okay, kind of weird. And then Nikolai Ehlers with 15 in 18. So they're not a big scoring team. It looks like they're maybe more of a defensive team. Capo Kakko has grown to an 87. He has 11 points. Nugent Hopkins with 11 as well. But they have a lot of veteran depth here. And then Cole Lind might be their leading point. Is he their leading point scorer? I think he is, actually. Trying to move buttons here, but it's not working. That's 15 for Ehlers, 13 for Cole Lind. So they have a good top 6. They have weak, a 78 overall on your first and second line. Seems weak in theory, but you got to look at the names as well. It's John Tavares, who has 86 poise. He just still has the awareness. He can still shoot that puck, 4-star shooting. He's still really good. I know that overall says that he's not, but it's just his physical categories and his skating categories. With Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, his defense is still 4 stars. Look, he can't skate to save his life, but he can still shoot that puck. He still has senses. Like, they still have the stats that matter, so we can't look at that as 78, maybe more like 85s or things like that. Then they have Kuzmenko, Cole Perfetti, and Noah Gregor. How has this line been performing? 14 points for Noah Gregor. Wow. 10 points for Cole Perfetti and 9 points for Kuzmenko. So this might be the kind of glue line for them. The depth scoring might be where they kind of get teams. Then they have Liam Foudy with 9 points in 18 games. Holy smokes. 12 points in 18 games for Serge Desjardins, and then 7 for... So this bottom 6 is real deep. They're able to score, and they're able to keep the puck out of the net, so that's scary. Defensively now, it's Devin Taves really carrying them on that defensive side. He has 10 points. He's with Caden Korzak? I'm not sure how to say that name. I'm sorry. Then Jake Bean with Calfoot, and then Martin Farabee with Robin Salo. So defensively, I like us better, but their offense is super deep, and they're able to keep the puck out of the net. So a little scary, and Capo Kakinen is their goalie, basically same overall as ours, 913 save percentage, 2.69 goals against. Daniel Tarasov as well. Let's look at scratches. Any injuries here? They have Ville Heinola, who could come in at any moment. So they have a good team. They have a really good team. They're able to score, and they're able to keep the puck out of the net. It's very worrisome, but for us, it's about Marcus Vishnevsky, the rookie, making a run. This is quite similar to the 2009. I would say this is similar to 2009 playoffs where, was it Semyon Varlamov who was making his debut for the Washington Capitals? And I'm going to do the same thing that Bruce Boudreau did back then when they were playing Pittsburgh. He was like, I just let him do his thing. You know, he has like 2 shutouts in 5 games. He's played more playoff games than he has regular season games. That's not the case in our universe, but I'm just going to let him do his thing. I don't talk to him. Maybe there's a language barrier there. I don't talk to him. I don't need to talk to him. Let him do his thing. He's a goalie. They're weird. So here we go. First game of the Stanley Cup Finals. We're at home. Let's get this show on the road, boys, up against Winnipeg, who had 49 wins on the season as well. So big team here, massive. The lights are the brightest they've ever been. It's cup or bust for us. We knew that coming into the playoffs, and now we are here in the Stanley Cup Finals, but we have to get that trophy. First period finishes 1-0. Pablo Kilger scoring on Capo Kakinen in a good period by the boys, doubling their shots, keeping them to a limited goals for. Second period now underway. 2-0 Senators. Alex DeBrincat gonna score on Capo Kakinen with 1:46. That's a massive goal to score. Give us the momentum going into the third period, as well. And that's a massive penalty kill out of us. They had a long power play opportunity, but the Sens penalty kill unit gets out there and does their thing. And now, don't say anything. I know we're thinking it though. I don't even like to allude to it because I know EA Voodoo is a real thing, but Don Ritchie scores. And Marcus Vishnevsky has a 1,000 save percentage. In other words, that's a shutout in the Stanley Cup Finals. Capo Kakinen, though, has a real good game as well. Pablo Kilger with 2 points. Yeah, boys, that's a huge game. Sometimes you need your goalie to steal one for you. It's a great game from Capo Kakinen, but Marcus Vishnevsky was just that much better. Second period. Second game here in Canadian Tire Center still. The fans are pumped with that last one. Let's give them another performance to be proud of as the first period is underway. Okay, and we couldn't keep them off the score sheet. No! Oh my goodness, I forgot to put Marcus Vishnevsky. I gotta turn off auto-rotate goalies, man. I forgot to put Vishnevsky in the nets, and Sorokin allows 2 goals on 13 shots. What am I doing, dude? Luckily, Tim Stützle puts one in to even us, or to get us closer to being even. We're only down by 1 now. I need a big second period, boys. A massive one. It's a lot to ask, but I have the wrong goalie in there. Why can't I just go down there and tell the coach, get him out of the nets, put in Marcus Vishnevsky? I don't know. Tim Stützle, though, puts us down only within 1 now. Second period still remains 2-1. Whatever Sorokin does, even if he doesn't allow another goal, man, I can't have him in the net for the Stanley Cup Finals because things like this will happen. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins scores. But that being said, I still want to see, like, the boys are they just giving up? Like, we only have 1 goal. I mean, they're not, obviously. The shots in favor of us, 38-25, but the score in favor of Winnipeg there, as they're up 4-1 now, 5-1 now. That's such a big mistake to make in the Stanley Cup Finals, and we go down in that game 5-1. Horrible performance out of Sorokin, but Capo Kakinen, that's a really worrying stat. He's been one of the 3 stars now for the last 2 games. I don't know what I'm doing, man, just pressing buttons, but here we go. Okay, I gotta simulate to the next game. I gotta put Vishnevsky in the net, and then I gotta turn auto rotate goalies off. Let me see. Let me do it real quick. I want to keep you guys on board so no shenanigans can happen or anything like that. I did have to what am I saying? I don't know what I'm trying to say. Let's get auto rotate goalies off here, and so that way we don't have to worry about, where is it here? We don't have to worry about putting Vishnevsky in the net every game. He's just going to be there. Now I want to go back. I know I'm a really paranoid person, so let me go back to the edit lines to make sure Vishnevsky is there. And he is. Okay, Vishnevsky, I need a big game out of you, boy. I need a real big game out of you. Third game in Winnipeg. where it's May and probably 40 inches of snow, 40 centimeters of snow on the ground. 40 inches of snow, that'd be nuts. Alex DeBrincat's our leading goal scorer. Got a shutout in his last game that he was here. So let's see him do it again up against Kaapo Kähkönen, who has performed very well for the Winnipeg Jets so far in this series. But I need the boys to come through. There's Noah Dobson scoring. First period finishes 1-0. 17 shots to 7. That's the thing about the simulation, man. We have been simulating very well. We've been out shooting them in every game, and we haven't been leading in every game, but we've I don't know if we've deserved to win, but we've been throwing that puck on the net. That's one thing that we do. We put that puck on the net as much as anybody else. Second period now, 2-0 Sens. Let's go. Walker Reimer on Kaapo Kähkönen. And this is a very defensive series. We have 34 shots. We're doubling their shots. They only have 17, but they're going to score on the power play. Now only 15 minutes remain. Shots 39-22 in favor of the Sens. Wisniewski and the defenders are doing their thing back there. 41 shots and only 2 goals for Kaapo Kähkönen, who's playing his mind out. He's channeling his Patrick Waugh, Dominic Hasek, whatever you want to say, but it's not enough as the Sens win 2-1 and go up 2-1 in the series. On 45 shots, though, Kaapo Kähkönen, the first star of the night, 43 saves, 955 save percentage. Wisniewski, though, 25 saves on 26 shots, 961 save percentage. Walker Reimer with that goal. So take a deep breath, everybody. Take a deep breath. This is a real playoff series, man. A lot of times in EA land, you see a Stanley Cup final where the scores are 5-4, 7, 8-7, big scores. But in this one, we have a real Stanley Cup finals. We have a 3-0 game. We have a 2-1 game. That brings me back to, early 2010s in there, where we have Boston against Chicago, real low scoring games, things like that. Brings me back up 2-1 in the series. We took a game on the road, which is massive because they took a game when we were at home. So let's try to take another one from them. We could go up 3-1 in the series once again for the fourth. That would be the fourth time in a row going up 3-1. So let's go here, boys. DeBrincat, Pascal, Stützle, Zadorov. I haven't seen much out of you guys. Stützle does have a goal, but it was in that game. That doesn't really matter. So here we go. My heart just dropped because I thought I didn't put Wisniewski in the net, but then I remember that I turn auto-rotate goalies off, so that's why we do things like that. So first period, okay, 2-1 for Winnipeg. Their offense is bound to come out eventually. Cole Lind and Andrei Kuzmenko both score, but Tyler Boucher gets us back within one with 4 minutes remaining. They also score 9 seconds apart. Just like to point that out. 14:40, 14:31, 9 seconds apart. Ridiculous stuff. Winnipeg also leading in the shots for the first time in a while here. So we're going to look to weather that storm and get back in this game in the second period. Here it is, second period. 4-3 Senators. Let's go, boys. There's Jake Clemenson, who scores a rare goal. Pitkanen brings his team back to give them a lead again. But then Robert Alfredson and Tyler Boucher with his second of the night. Tyler Boucher, huge depth that I threw in there at the game 7 round 1, I believe it was, and he scores 45 seconds after Robert Alfredson. So big second period out of us. Now third period, this is the biggest period of our season so far, as it dictates whether the game gets tied up. Oh my gosh, the series gets tied up at 2, or whether we go up 3-1 as Alex DeBrincat snipes one past Kaapo Kähkönen. And for the first time, we've gotten to Kaapo Kähkönen as well, him allowing 5 goals on 32 shots, and the Senators are up 3-1 in this series. We're up 3-1 for the 4th time this playoff run. Crazy stuff. Jake Clemenson with 2 points, Tyler Boucher with 2 goals, Cole Lind with 2 points. This is just, the story of 2 great teams going at it. I didn't give Winnipeg their proper dues. Let's see where they finished in the entire league. And it was, Winnipeg, they finished 7th in the entire league, 49 wins as well. So they know how to win. They know how to put that puck in the net. Up 3-1. Come on, boys. We can be champions again. We can do it again. I know we can. We have 3 chances to put away the Winnipeg Jets. 3 chances. Alex DeBrincat, Captain Thomas Chabot could be lifting that trophy for the 2nd time in as many years. Tim Stützle, This might be, Zadorov and DeBrincat's last year here if we look at the comment from Alexander, right? So I need performances out of you guys. DeBrincat is above point per game. Oh my goodness, I'm so nervous. I need depth to show up, but they showed up in that last game, so I can't ask for much more. I need goaltending. I need depth. I need everything under the sun, boys, for this last game. Well, it could be the last game, but it's Game 5 in Ottawa. What a way to do it would be. Let's go. Game 5. Here we go, boys. We're going to watch the simulation here, and Alex DeBrincat scores, and then Jake Sanderson puts one in right after him, 30 seconds apart. We're going to allow a shorthanded goal by Pitkin, though, but then Walker Reimer. This is an explosive start to the game here, as the Ottawa Senators realize this might be the best opportunity for them going into Game 5 on their home ice. We want to put these Winnipeg Jets in the dirt, as we only allow them to have 5 shots in the first period, 6 shots in the first period, but we put in 20 shots on Kaapo Kähkönen. He's on pace to have 60 shots against him, and let's keep that pace up, boys. Second period now starts, and I need a big one once again. I just want us to keep scoring. I don't care that it's the playoffs and that the games are supposed to be close. Just absolutely smoke them if you can. We're halfway through the game now. Shaw's massively in favor of the Sens, but Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, he's been here before, I assume, with some team, and he's going to score to bring this game within 1. The dust settles over the second period, and the score evens up. Sens fans are biting their nails everywhere. The players are nervous. Don't talk to Marcus Wisniewski in the locker room. Let him focus. He's just zoned in. He's absolutely zoned in. You let in that goal, but that's okay. Excuse me. I need to take a little bit of a break here. Oh my gosh. Third period. In the works. It's underway. Come on, boys. My stars: DeBrincat, Stützle, Chabot, Sanderson, Noah Dobson. You've been kind of silent. Rasmus Anderson. Who else? Ruslan Zadorov, Damien Pascal. I'll name the whole team, for God's sake. I don't care who it is. I don't care if we don't score. We have to batten down the hatches. We're the best defensive team in the NHL. Let's show them why, boys. Third period has begun. That's a power play. That's very undisciplined out of us, and Nikolai Ehlers is going to make us pay as he scores another power play. Come on, you idiots. Stop taking penalties. Refs, put your whistles away. It's the gosh dang Stanley Cup Finals here. It's Game 5. It's 3-3 with 2 minutes left, and we're going to overtime. Game 5. Overtime. Stanley Cup Finals. Tim Stützle wins the draw. And now we're underway here. Stützle with that puck. I don't know how much I'm going to cut this, because I don't know if this is going to be the last game, obviously. But you guys will, well, you won't be able to tell, because the video is obviously like almost 2 hours long at this point, probably. There's Ehlers. Oh my God, he had space, but he roofs that over the net. There's Pitkin in the slot. Big save out of Marcus Wisniewski. Holy, this is the first time we get to see Marcus Wisniewski, I think, as well. There's John Tavares, but he gets stripped. And now DeBrincat with that puck. He has space, but he loses it. But there he is. And now to Kilger in the slot. But Kaapo Kähkönen stands on his head once again. Cole Lind, 1, 2, 3 on 2, kind of. There's Nugent-Hopkins in the slot. Big save out of Wisniewski. And now it's Kaapo Kähkönen. And another save from Wisniewski as that puck remains still. Cole Lind gives it to Devon Toews. Devon Toews into the slot. And Wisniewski is going to cover that sucker up. Thomas Chabot gets stripped of the puck there, and he's going to take a penalty now as Cole Lind takes a shot. The Sens are going to need to go to the penalty kill, and we have to rely on our penalty killers to do their job as our captain takes a slashing penalty in overtime of Game 5. Oh my goodness, if there ever was a time when we need to batten down the hatches, it's right now. We lose the draw. Tavares just left wide open to take a clapper right in Wisniewski's chest, luckily, but that could have been a dangerous opportunity. Sanderson gonna ice that puck, and there's about a minute left in this penalty kill unit. Here's Kakko. Kakko 2 on 3 with his partner. Finds Nugent-Hopkins in the slot. Shot! Big time save from Wisniewski, though. One-timer, another save, and Wisniewski is sprawling around to try to keep us in this game. Nugent-Hopkins to Kakko. Capo Caco now, highly drafted player, looking to maybe clear his name from some, people called him a bust real early in his career. He wins a Stanley Cup. Don't know how true those claims would have been. But with 10 seconds now remaining in the power play, they have one more rush at this. Nugent Hopkins into the zone. Nugent Hopkins goes around the bend. He's going to look back door, but he can't make the pass. And now that puck in the corner. As it becomes even strength, the Sens still tired though. Thomas Chabot out of the penalty box, over to Walker Reimer, and the Sens look to stabilize. Here's Alex DeBrincat moving out of the zone. He's going to dangle, find Pablo Kilgore. Kilgore with Stützle on the back door. Stützle! Gets poked away by Capo Caco, I believe, or maybe the defender behind him. But that was a huge opportunity for the young superstar. Keatley in hot danger here, gets board played along the side, and Fairview's going to keep that puck in. He now has open space to Caco, who rings that off the post. Oh my goodness, one-timer! And Vishnevsky's there to make the save once again. Now the Senators just desperately trying to get that puck out of the zone. Here's Nikolai Ehlers, one-timer, and a huge save for Vishnevsky, who's keeping his team in this game. Oh my goodness, Vishnevsky has been our best player this overtime. Big offensive zone draw for Tim Stützle, who unfortunately loses it. But he's going to forecheck, and DeBrincat will find Stützle. Stützle coming out into the slot, takes it off the post, and he's going to score! He's going to score! Tim Stützle, our franchise player, scores to put the Ottawa Senators and get us the Stanley Cup for the second year in a row. The Sens are your 2030 Stanley Cup champions. Oh my goodness. I was sitting here for 14 minutes commentating over these gosh dang AI playing. The hardest 14 minutes of my life, but what a performance from Tim Stützle from the Ottawa Senators in this run. Alex DeBrincat is the Conn Smythe winner. How are we going to decide to trade away the Conn Smythe winner? I don't know if we can, man. I don't know. But he wins that Conn Smythe. But let's bring out the big trophy that matters. In 2030, the Ottawa Senators are your Stanley Cup champions, baby. Bring it in. Gary Bettman gets on the ice. He says, Thomas Chabot, for the second time in 2 years, come on over and lift Lord Stanley, baby. We got to take a picture real quick, though, because I need my publicity. And here he is. Congratulations, Ottawa. Let's go, man. Oh, my gosh. What a journey. Thomas Chabot lifts that up for the second time in 2 years. Huge play. Can I decide who goes next? Yes, I can. Let's give it to Tyler Seguin, man. He might not have lifted a trophy in his whole career, so we're gonna show the veteran some respect here. He was a trade deadline acquisition. Tyler Seguin, big part of the run here. Giving us some depth, scoring every once in a while. I don't know if he had many goals, but helping out on the assist market. And now let's send it to the Conn Smythe winner here. Alex DeBrincat gonna hoist Lord Stanley the second time in 2 years, and he is loving it here in Ottawa. Decided to sign, after his 6-year, $10 million deal was up, decided to sign another 2 years at 9.5. His last year of his deal is coming up, and he might be on the block. After that, you know what? This guy, he was a rookie this year, and he came in because Sorokin was not performing, and he performed incredibly well. Marcus Vishnevsky, he made some massive saves in that overtime. He was a big part of the reason why we made it this far. I decided to run with him instead of Sorokin, and he had some great games, a shutout. He had 2 games where he had 1 goal against, and he made massive saves in this overtime. Didn't get got some interesting choices to hoist the Stanley Cup there, but everybody gather round. Whether you played well or not, doesn't matter. You're on this team, and you are a Stanley Cup winner. They will remember this for their entire lifetime, man. Oh, baby, it feels good. Here's the new feature. Well, it's not really new anymore, huh? But here's the feature. We saw it last year as well. Stanley Cup winners. Huge performance from the boys. I'm so proud of everybody on this team. I love this team, man. And obviously on the left there, it shows the 2023 Stanley Cup champions, not the 2028-29 season, which would have been us as well. We would have been back to back. That would have been so cool to see, man. But the game can't take in that much information, I guess. But look at that. It looks so good. Robert Alfredson there is the second name, you know, descendant of obviously Daniel Alfredson, as we have made the storyline. But that's the game-winning goal right there. Weird goal. Tim Stützle buries it after you know, Capo Kakinen might kick it in his own net. I'm not sure. Don't really care about the 3 stars of the night. I'm just so proud of this team, so happy that we got through. And next up is the draft. You know, not really much to say about it. We can look at the team, who did what for us, things like that. This is the regular season. I always do that, but huge performance from the boys. And we end up having a great playoff run. Alex DeBrincat with 25 points, 14 goals as well. Definitely carried us in the goal department. Tim Stützle with 24. Ruslan Zadorov was point per game. So the 2 guys that we're thinking about trading, both were point per game in the playoffs. I don't know. Damien Pascal with 19 in 23. Walker Reimer with 16. So I put Walker Reimer onto that third line, and because he wasn't performing, but he definitely turned it up a little bit towards the end there. Dimitri Tutin with 16, Thomas Chabot with 16 as well, Pablo Kilger, Jake Sanderson here. Where's Keegan Keatley with 8 goals in 23 games? But definitely, as a rookie, I will 100% take those numbers, those production numbers. Pablo Kilger as well had some big goals for us. Noah Dobson with 12 points from Noah Dobson. That is very impressive, because in the regular season he only had 27 and 82. So good pace from Noah Dobson. There's Tyler Seguin with 9 and 23, the trade deadline acquisition. Jake Clemenson had some good goals, 8 points. We will take that, plus 6 as well. Tyler Boucher, 6 goals for Tyler Boucher. Wow, big improvement for him. Robert Alfredson, not much for Robert Alfredson, but I will say definitely part of that penalty kill. Had some shorthanded goals, I think, at least one that I remember. Here's Rasmus Anderson with 6 and 23. Don Ritchie with 4 and 22, but a -5 for Don Ritchie. See, that offensive defenseman, it doesn't lend itself well to playoff performances, I guess. Berkeley Catton with only 2 points in 23 games, playing alongside of Tyler Seguin. That's kind of disappointing. Christian Havlid with only 1 point in 5 games. Kevin Ball with nothing in 1. Looking at goalies now, this is the big story of the video, man. So Ilya Sorokin, we played him for the first 2 rounds. He goes 6-6-1 with a shutout, an .878 save percentage, and 3.79. I decide, you know what? I'm not liking how he's simulating. We give Marcus Vishnevsky the reins, who's an 81 overall medium elite goalie. For did we sign him to an extension? Oh boy, he's going to be asking for so much money now. But we decide give him the reins. He goes 10-2-0 with a shutout, a .940 save percentage, and 1.74 goals against average. I might give him the Conn Smythe, to be honest. Those numbers are crazy. He also had an assist, which I love to see, but crazy numbers out of the guys. And I just want to thank you guys so much. Actually, we should simulate to the draft so that I can do the awards and things like that. All right, let's simulate to the draft. But as we're simulating here, just want to thank you guys so much for, all the support on the series. We're getting too close to NHL 24. There are still a few more videos that I want to make. But this really is, this is the draft lottery here. Montreal moves up from 13 to 3. This could very well be the last dance. I'm not sure how I want to do it. Let's see the retired players as well here. Patrick Kane goes out in Vancouver. Wow, I think they made the playoffs as well. Patrick Kane. Joe Pavelski here goes out in the AHL. Jonathan Huberdeau, who we beat. He was in Calgary last year as well, right? Yeah, we beat him in the Stanley Cup Finals last year. Tyler Seguin goes out as a Stanley Cup champion with us. Congratulations to him. Here's Evgeny Kuznetsov. Gustav Nyquist is here. Brock Nelson, Sean Monahan. There's some names in here for sure. Boone Jenner, John Klinberg. All right, there's definitely some names. But yeah, man, a very, very good playoff run for us. It was looking real scary there towards in the first round, but then after that, man, we really just rolled right through. Philip Grubauer, Jack Campbell, Malcolm Subban. After that first round, we kind of just rolled through everybody. We beat Toronto, we beat the Flyers handedly, and then we beat Who do we even play in the? Oh yeah, Winnipeg, of course. We beat them pretty handedly as well. Here's the draft interviews, the pro scout, whatever. We're now at the draft. Let's view the draft. Actually, no, it's not view the draft class. I want to look at the awards. So, second year in a row, we are Stanley Cup champions. We are the President's Trophy winners too, breaking that streak of Minnesota Wild. Look at that, 4 years in a row for the Minnesota Wild. Obviously, it was us against Winnipeg in the Stanley Cup Finals. Art Ross goes to Austin Matthews. Austin Matthews and Kirill Kaprizov have been trading off Art Ross trophies for the last 4 years, so good to see that. Hart goes to Kirill Kaprizov. Pitkanen, who was on the Jets, actually won the Hart last year. That's pretty cool. James Norris to Devon Tays of the Winnipeg Jets. Yikes. So the Jets had some really cool numbers. Here we go. This is cool. Alex DeBrincat wins the Lady Byng. Best sportsmanship and gentlemanly conduct. That's cool. Calder to Pera. Conn Smythe to DeBrincat as well. Last year went to Kucherov. Vezina to Jake Ottinger, who had a great playoff run against us, actually. He played really well. William M. Jennings to Carter Hart. Bill Masterton to Sasaki. Jack Adams to the Pittsburgh Penguins. Frank J. Selke for the 5th year in a row goes to Alexander Barkov. Ted Lindsay goes to Kirill Kaprizov, who wins it for like the 4th time in 5 years. And then the Maurice Richard goes to Nathan MacKinnon for the 2nd year in a row. So the league definitely dominated by those high overalls. Let's take a look at the playoff tree, just because I want to see this beautiful work that we did. It seems like each round got subsequently easier. That Columbus round was nerve-wracking. We were up 3-1. We end up going to 7 games and then luckily getting the win there. Then we go to Toronto where we win in 6. Then we go to Philadelphia, we win in 5. And then finally the Stanley Cup Finals. A huge occasion as Tim Stützle scores the Stanley Cup winning goal. A massive goal for Tim Stützle, a massive goal for the Sens organization. And I can definitely proudly say that we are back-to-back champions. We've been to the Stanley Cup Finals, I believe, for 3 times. Actually, let me take a look at the awards. I think it's the 3rd time in 3 years we've been to the Stanley Cup Finals. The 3rd time in 3 years we've been to the Stanley Cup Finals. That first year we lost to the Anaheim Ducks in an 0-7 rematch, but as soon as they're out of our way, we win 2 in a row. A massive episode, a massive season. I'm super proud of all the boys, and we've got some decisions to make over the offseason, but for right now, let's enjoy this, the parade in Ottawa for the 2nd year in a row. That would be so weird, a parade in Ottawa. Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine that, man. Either way, the parade coming to Ottawa, we'll plan out the route through Spark Street and things like that. Going down Parliament Hill, but either way, great season for the boys. Really proud of them, and thank you all so much for watching. If you made it this far, you are definitely a real one. Comment if you would like, subscribe, all that stuff. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great rest of your day.